Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Lurking Spirits here. We have a good special live here coming tonight. We have a couple that we have invited on. They did an investigation at the old Cambria County Jail. Their names are Ashley and Michael Stilson. I believe that they are also members of Raven Paranormal, which if you remember, Angel and Lindsay. We're going to be inviting them on here soon to have an interview with them, and I think it's going to be a real nice night. If you have any questions, just please feel free to come on and ask them anything. We'll try to let them tell their story, say what's coming up for them. In the meantime, I want to bring up a couple things about the jail. We are planning some events coming up this month. If you have any ideas for things that you would like to see us do this month, please contact me through the stonejail.com website, where a lot of you have my personal number, or you can text me here through Lurking Spirits. Also, please, guys, keep in mind when you do a limited or an overnight, you have to sign a waiver. That waiver includes areas of the building that is not safe. So that means if there's a sign posted, if it's marked off with caution tape, please do not enter those areas. They're there for a reason, and that reason is for your safety until we get those things up to where we can open them up so the entire jail is available. So with that being said, we're going to introduce right now Ashley and Michael Stilson. They'll be joining us here in just a second. Hi guys, how are you doing? Can you hear us?
Yeah. We're members of Dark Hollow Paranormal.
Sorry, I said Raven. I don't know why. I don't mind me. It's been one of those type of days. Dark Hollow Paranormal. So sorry. I knew I had the people right and everything, but my mind is because they contacted me today. So I do apologize to Angel and Lindsay and every member of your team. So how are you guys doing this evening?
Good.
It's nice having you on here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool for us to be able to be a part of this.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get started, and how did you become part of Dark Hollow?
For me personally, I have been doing paranormal investigations since about 2011, 2012. When I went to IUP, I was a member of PSYOP, the Paranormal Society of IUP. So I've been doing this for quite a while. And then me and my husband, Michael, started doing this together. But a couple of years ago, I think in 2021, we went to Gettysburg. And then within the last year, we met all the members of Dark Hollow Paranormal, actually from the Fear Club, from Project Fear. I think it was Brittany that had made a post, or she put a comment or something. And I had sent her a message like, hey, we're trying to meet some local people. And we met them at Pennhurst for Paracon. And we did a public event with them. And then we've been just meeting up ever since.
Do you do a lot of investigations with them, or do you do more investigations with them as a group, or do you do more investigations as a couple?
I'd say it's about the same.
Okay, cool. Where was the last place you investigated?
The jail. Yeah, since that was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if you went anywhere since then or not. You do know that your picture that you caught, the owner of the building put it on the stonejail.com website, and everybody is going crazy over that. That's insane.
Yeah, it was a pretty lucky catch. It was something that I didn't even know that I had until we were reviewing footage when we were sitting in the break room when we were taking a break.
That picture's just amazing. I know he showed it to somebody that he knows. I believe he said they were Native American, and they seem to think, or she seems to think, that it looked like a female, that she could have that old-fashioned hairstyle. When I look at it and my family look at it, we think that it's a guard. The way that it's standing there and looking, it seems like a guard.
Yeah. So I guess the origin of the story of the picture is the entire time we were investigating, I was taking pictures, but I was taking them in threes. And we actually were videoing at the same time. So I actually, like, I have camera footage of me taking the picture too, and there's nothing there in the video. And that shadow figure only was seen in the first picture. The next two pictures, there's nothing in it.
Yeah, that's a great catch. I mean, when you first sent that to me, I'm there like, oh my gosh. And I know, I mean, exactly where you caught that at. That's amazing. And a lot of time, I know we did an investigation. Well, we didn't, but there was a group that did an investigation the other night. And I was standing up on that second tier in the old stone jail part. And I kept on seeing, I thought, a shadow around that area there. And the people that were doing the investigating, she was seeing something up on the annex part by where the catwalk is. And I'm there thinking she's seen the same thing as me. So I don't know, maybe I saw the same thing that you actually captured.
Yeah, it was interesting too, because again, when we were inside the jail, we didn't know that we had captured that at that point. But we had walked around and we actually left that level and went down the catwalk, down the stairs. And when we reached the bottom, we could hear somebody walking above us. So, and it kind of tracked for the entire night, because every time we would go somewhere, it was like something was messing with us and would do the opposite. So every
That's
time
very, very
else,
common.
Yeah.
The first night we did our investigation, when we went live, well, right before we went live, that's what we were experiencing. It's like something plays games. It'll make a noise somewhere where you're not, and when you go to where to see if you can see anything, then it goes to a different area. Mm-hmm. That's very common in that jail. So overall, how did you feel about your experience overall that whole night?
I've been a lot of places, but nothing has quite compared to the jail in means of just feeling completely intimidated to be there. Like, from when we took the original tour, was completely fine, still excited to be there. But as soon as we went in to start investigating, it was a completely different environment. And the entire time I was there, it was like something was watching me, and it wouldn't let up. Like, it didn't want me there, and it came after me the entire time.
Yeah, so you just answered my question, because I was just going to ask you if you always got that feeling like something was constantly staring at you, because I know since we started doing more tours and more investigations, it seems like it's just like whatever's there, it just like pierces through your soul or something, like it's just staring at you.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of equipment, and I like using equipment. I usually have a ton of stuff out when we're investigating, and I just couldn't even do that with this investigation, because it was just so intimidating, and just even the REM pod going off was enough for me to just not even want to be there. Like, it was a completely different experience than I've ever had anywhere.
Wow. Did you get any EVPs that night?
Yes, I have 3 EVPs. And then, yeah, I have 3 EVPs. Some other audio of just some things that were going on. But it was very interesting because, like I said, we were videotaping as well as having the digital recorder on, and then what you could hear audibly. A lot of what we heard audibly wasn't captured on either our phone or the digital recorder. But then we do have an instance when we were in the dungeon and we got like a moaning sound. That moaning was captured on the digital recorder as well as on the camera, but we didn't hear it.
Oh, wow.
That is crazy.
That is insane. Did you have problems when you were using your EVP recorder? I know with cameras and stuff it happens, but for me in particular, every time I try to get a good EVP recording, I'll get it, but it won't play the whole thing. It'll like cut off before when, like you can't even hear me coming up and picking up the EVP recorder to check it. Like my footsteps going up, it cuts off every time right before that. Have you experienced that?
No, everything we recorded was there.
Oh, wow. So it's just something, don't like my recorder then or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I did notice is all of our prior investigations that were on the recorder, because our recorder has a pretty decent memory card in it. I think it's like 128 gigabytes. So everything we had previously recorded to going to the jail was deleted. So when I plugged the recorder in to pull the audio from the jail, everything else was gone. All I had was from
no. Did you have any backup? Did you have any of that saved at all?
I didn't know.
Oh no.
No. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Oh, and I bet you had some good stuff on there too, didn't you?
Yeah, all of our stuff from Pennhurst was on there. Then everything from Liberty recently was on there, and now, yeah, it's gone.
Oh,
that's so sad.
Yeah, yeah. There's something. I'll tell you what. Like mine, it doesn't erase. Well, I did have one of mine get erased because remember I told you I recorded it and I went to play it back and there was nothing at all. It erased it. But mine just has a habit. Like the one time I was in RHU, I put it in there and it was only like 16 to 20 minutes long. But when I played it back, it cut off at 6 minutes. And then the one that I had in Smitty Cell should have been probably a good half an hour to 40 minutes. And when I played it back, it was like 16 to 20 minutes and it cut off. So that's common in that building. I don't know. Something just does not like being recorded or I don't know, but anything really other than your picture that you got and the EVPs like really blows you away from that night?
I had a couple. There's a couple different things that we got. At one point, so at this point, I think we were there. I want to say 4 or 5 hours, and we had walked up and down the catwalk several times. And on our last flight of stairs in the old section coming down, Michael was in front of me and I was coming down behind him. And the first step I took, I was fine. But then all of a sudden it was like I was like in the air, like something pushed me.
Oh no. I had somebody, I can't recall who told me that said they were walking down, I think one of the set of steps, and I believe they said it was in the annex, and they felt almost like they were being shoved, and they grabbed a hold of the bar so they didn't get pushed. So
yeah, it was like my center of balance all of a sudden wasn't there.
What do you think the creepiest part of that whole jail to you was? Because I'm finding, you would think that the old stone jail part, not the dungeon, but the jail itself part would be really bad. But I'm finding I'm getting more and more uneasy in the annex part. Do you have a place where you...
I don't know if I would pinpoint, like we had so much activity, like it was just coming, like not only was it feeling like people were watching, but there was just so much activity as well that we had that it was overwhelming. Like we didn't know where it was coming from next, and it was constant. Like
whatever, it kept you on your feet all night long then.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of times where she had to take a break. So she'd go out in the equipment room and I would go in by myself and I'd have no problems at all. But the minute she came back in there with me, was a completely different story.
Oh, wow. So we were told that, I mean, you figure it is a jail, a lot of males, so it does affect most of the women that goes in there. There's something in the basement that seems to be drawn to Abby.
Yeah.
And every time she goes down, it's like the equipment goes crazy, or it kind of lets us know that it wants her alone in the basement. So it's, yeah, that's interesting. That
Yeah,
is interesting.
I had no safe space, so to speak. It didn't matter where I was. It was just constant.
So you think it followed you then everywhere you went? Is that, or do you just think that there's just a ton there and everywhere you went there was something different, but, or do you think it was just one that was following you?
You know,
There has to at least be multiple.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was one thing. I would probably bet that there's multiple things there.
Wow. Wow. So what are your plans next now? I know you got the jail. Do you want to come back to the jail sometime in the future, or like what's your plans? Do you have something on your itinerary now?
We do have a couple of things on our itinerary. We are going with the team to Gettysburg, to the Rainworth Lodge. That's November 2nd. I think that's our only thing that we actually have on the books right now. Besides, we are going back to Liberty, just us two and a couple of our friends on October 12th. And I know we would love to go back to the jail, and we want to get the team in there is our goal.
That would be awesome. I would like to meet the whole entire team. As you know, we talked to Angel and Lindsay, and wonderful, wonderful people. We've enjoyed talking to you guys. That's why we wanted you on our show. You're wonderful, wonderful people. And that picture that you got, it's just still hard getting that out of your mind, you know, that like, wow, that was something. That was something, especially when you enhanced it too, so because you could see it in the dark picture. But when you enhanced it and said, okay, oh my goodness, that looks like a guard staring up or somebody, you know, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a couple of other things. The Maglite, no matter where we had it, it was constantly being played with. Even when we were walking the bullpen, so we were just walking each floor, going around in circles. We had the Maglite sitting on the radiator against the wall when you first walk in. Every time we would come up to the front, like where the staircases are to go up and down, the Maglite would come back on. So it was like it knew every time we reached that point back to the stairs, it would come on, and then when we went to the next flight, it would turn off.
Wow. That's crazy. And did the REM pod go off throughout the whole jail for you too?
So we had it sitting on the first floor of the bullpen, and if you're looking at the stairs, it would have been on the right-hand side, more towards the exit door.
Yeah, that's the very,
And then it actually died.
Yeah, it died at one point.
Oh, wow. Did you have a lot of batteries and cameras or anything in that going dead for you that night?
Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot of equipment, pretty extensive. We have a whole battery case that's filled that we bring with us.
Yeah, because the laser grid went down.
Yeah, our laser grid died. We had that sitting in between the old and the new section.
Wow. Well, I know we get every time, like, I don't get razzled too easily. I can pretty much handle a lot, but I don't know if it's since everybody started coming back in the jail and it's kind of awakening it, or I guess you can use that term. But I've noticed even certain areas, I just feel like something's just piercing through my soul, just like staring, and it doesn't matter where you go anymore in there. It's just like you're constantly being watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were down in the dungeon, to something I didn't even notice till I was watching our video footage, is at 2 completely separate times, one at a time, each of us ended up choking like on nothing. Like
Oh, wow.
it didn't even like click in my head until I was watching the video, and I'm like, wait a minute, like he just did that, and like 10 minutes later, then I started doing it.
In almost the same.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you feel like maybe something was trying to choke you or something, or cut, like,
Yeah. It was just like all of a sudden, like we just started like coughing and just trying to like swallow back to catch our breath again. Like it was just
oh my.
flu.
Did you do the Estes method anywhere in there, or use the spirit box?
I think you used the spirit box when he went down to the dungeon by himself. But yeah,
like I said, it was a completely different. I didn't get anything down there with that. But again, like I said, it was a completely different feeling from me being in the dungeon alone to her being down there with me. When I was down there, there was like nothing.
It does like couples though too. I noticed because the last couple that went, the husband and wife team, she was a little bit sensitive, but it seemed like when he wanted to ask any questions or anything, or he was by himself, nothing happened. But when they were together, it seemed like it was affecting her a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was.
Did you get any negativity down there? Like there was a group of all females that did an investigation down there, and they were getting some nasty stuff coming through. Did you feel like there was any, like somebody wanted to say something nasty to you, or any feeling like that?
I didn't, because again, it was just, I didn't feel wanted the entire time I was there. And it was like something was just right there on me the entire time. So I didn't really have anything else to feel, because like it was like we didn't even know if we were going to make it the first couple of hours. Because like,
so it made you that uneasy then. You got that's how I feel. It gives you that overwhelming uneasiness, like, hey, like I'm not afraid or anything. I'm not comfortable being here.
Yeah, then this is the first location that I've ever been that I actually was getting sick. That's why I had to keep taking breaks. Like I just felt like I was gonna get sick.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's a we didn't think we were making it the first couple of hours.
Oh well, Linda on here. Can you scroll up, Abby? We have a question on here. It was from Kiwi. Would you say it was worthwhile going there to investigate?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we enjoyed our time, and we would definitely go back. It was just I was not expecting the intensity after we walked, like after we had the tour, and we were so excited, and then we walked in there, and it was like a completely different environment, and
it was instantly, the minute you walk through the door, it was a complete different feeling.
It took some adjusting and some perseverance to get through it.
Wow. Well, I know a couple others that had the same type of feeling in that, but for some reason, it seems like especially you, Ashley, it seemed like it was really, really, really intense for you there that night then. I mean, you experienced everything.
Yeah, I haven't even actually gotten through everything yet, but I don't think so. This location was on my list, like my bucket list of places to always go. So that is what kept me through it, because I really wanted to be there, but it was nuts. Like it was trying to force me out as much as I wanted to be there.
Wow. Do you think you're going to have, if you do come back and you have the big group with you, do you think you're going to have the same experience, or do you think because the others will be there that maybe it'll lessen up? Or I mean you obviously can't predict that, but just thinking ahead.
Honestly, that's my hope. That if there's more people there, that I'll be able to enjoy myself a little more.
Yeah.
And you think that, but I mean, with all of our investigations at Liberty, we have usually the whole groups there, and it's insane with the things that we have happening there. So I think it could go either way, really.
Okay, Kiwi asked again, are ladies more affected than men? And I think that could be for any of us. You can go ahead and answer that, because I'm sure you definitely have a
Yeah, in our experience, that was true. Yes.
yeah. And I'll answer too. From what I've seen from the groups that have come in and from personal experience from our own, it does seem to affect the women in our group over the men. So I do believe, Kiwi, that, yeah, I think the ladies do get more affected. At any time in the building when you were doing your investigation, did you feel at any time that you were in danger?
Me personally, no.
I would say not danger for like something. I would not building wise or any of like the structure, I guess you want to say, not from anything like that. But I think it got really tough for me at the point where like
you were ready to quit.
I was very nauseous, and yeah, I just like it was an internal
the
battle.
Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe you have, of course, like I said, it would have had mainly all male prisoners. Now, do you think maybe you might have a little bit of sensitivity, that you might be a little sensitive? Or do you think it was just that they kind of was targeting you?
I feel like I was targeted, and I'll say that because I know at several points while we were there, he kept asking me like, are you okay? Or like, what's going on? And I just didn't want to say it out loud, what was going on, because I didn't want to give them the upper hand to know how bad it was bothering me. So I just kept trying to keep it to myself, because I felt like if I said it out loud or I expressed it, it would become more true, and then they would catch on to that. So I tried to back off the intimidation as much as I could.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. You don't want them because I believe that if they feel that you're getting uncomfortable and you're feeling intimidated, they're not going to stop. It's going to intensify. That's how I feel about it. So, I mean, I'm glad that you played it calm and cool, and that, I mean, obviously you two know what you're doing when you're doing an investigation. So that in itself worked out in its favor for you personally.
Yeah, I'd say what, because even in the what was it, the rec room,
Mhm.
I think we were only down there for 6 minutes before she had to leave.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
But you can explain why that was.
Yeah, when we were in the rec room, we were standing along the back wall, so we were facing the blood wall, and we had a camera pointed in that doorway by the no smoking sign. But off to the left-hand side there in that corner where there's a
The electrical box.
yeah, I think there's a breaker box there where it kind of bumps out a little bit.
Right.
In that corner, right out of camera view, I saw a black shadow go across the wall.
Oh.
And that, I was fine until I saw that, and then I just looked at him like, yeah, I gotta go upstairs. I just
Do you have a feeling that it could have been Devlin?
Yeah. I wasn't so much afraid that I saw it, because I've been other places and I've seen things before, but I was spending so much of my time fighting to stay there that I didn't want to find out, because it was already taking me enough to stay there.
Yeah.
And then after seeing that, I didn't want to find out. And then knowing that Dakota had also captured something when he slept down there, but it was on the opposite wall, because I was thinking that. I'm like, eh. So, it's just comparing, contrasting investigations, what you see on TV, if it's actually factual.
And see, that's what the owner, he wants to try to gather us up. He's thrown around and I'm kind of, we're just trying to see how many people would be interesting, but he would like to get all of us together, like a lot of the groups, the ones that have us already investigated there, to get us all together and we can talk about and share what we've captured down there, share and compare. And, you know, we could have maybe a luncheon and that, and who knows, maybe that evening we can have a big group investigation going on or something. But we're kind of throwing that idea around. So from anybody that you know that's already been there, we're up to it. If we feel that we can get enough people that are interested, we want to pull something like that off. I mean, it would be cool to see, you know, hear each other's EVPs, share some of your video footage, your picture. I mean, it's already been shared. I think you're kind of like famous there, like around the area now. We have B squared asked, would you say you're fighting your instincts or intuition, fight or flight to stay?
Absolutely. Like I said before, if it wasn't for the fact that I really wanted to be there, I wouldn't have been there. Like I've been a lot of places and I've never left an investigation, but that would have been the place if I didn't want to be there.
Wow. Well, do you have something to say to the people that said, hey, I'm going to just come around and say it. Oh, you guys are full of shit. You know, that there's nothing going on in that building. It's all bull. Do you have anything to say to the people that might question that?
Go there.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me. I just be like, well, you know, the place is there. You know, here's the website. You can book your own time.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
For somebody who doesn't believe they go in there, they're going to walk out believing.
And you know yourself too, you can go to a place a couple different times and depending on the night, you might go there and nothing will happen, but then you might go there, you guys happen to get it on a night where the activity was through the roof. I think we said too when you guys first went in that we were kind of having a lot of uneasiness that day and there was a lot of activity going on. And it really jacked up since we started doing more overnights and more people have been coming in. So it's, I like using the term, it kind of awakened the jail. So, okay. Kiwi says, would you say that a beginner investigator might find it a bit overwhelming?
Yes and no, because again, how we were just saying, you don't know what it's going to be like. It could be a hit or miss. So, I mean, you can't ever say that for sure. I mean, if you're a beginner, you might want to try the tour or something before, you know, trying to book a 12-hour or 4-hour investigation. Maybe see where you're at first.
I mean,
that's some really good advice.
We didn't make the full 12 hours. What do we
How long were you there that night?
We left about 4:15.
Okay, so yeah, you didn't make your 12 hours.
Yeah, we were there about 8.
But it was to the point where it's like, yeah, I think it's time to go.
Wow.
Well, we've had experiences where people have been having headaches. Would you say that you anybody in your team had a headache during your investigation at all?
I know I was off and on here and there, not the whole time, but like hit and miss. I would have a headache here and there, but it wasn't nothing like enough to make me sit out or anything.
Well, where would you say your first headache experience was at?
Probably in the area of Smitty's cell. And then
that is so crazy.
The third and fourth tier of
oh my gosh. So like those two areas are the hot spots of people saying that they have headaches and stuff. Now, the Smitty cell area, people have more headaches, but the third tier is where people have, where they're dizzy or they feel like they're going to have a panic attack up there. So that's very common up in those two areas, especially.
And as we were walking through or like around the bullpen, you could hear noises above and below you.
You hear a lot of like door closings when you're
Mhm.
there. So in the old section on the 3rd floor in the blue room, the big blue room, there's 2 doors. There's one at the beginning whenever you come across the catwalk, and then there's the second one in the back. When we first did the walk around, that second door was open. And then when we came back around, maybe 4 hours later, when we started actually investigating each section, when we caught back up to there, that second door was closed.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever experienced that. We've heard like cell doors closing where there's no cell doors on them and wooden doors and stuff like that, but I don't think we've ever caught that door in particular opening or closing.
Yeah, because I remember we walked in one door and out the other, and then we walked in there and it's like, where's the other door at? And then we realized the door was closed.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That's incredible.
Isn't that the room? That's the ladies' ward, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the room that the door that towards the end is locked? Because last time we were in there, it was
door after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. There's, I
okay.
think, two that the main one, like, as soon as you come off the catwalk, that one's definitely open. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there is one more that's open.
Yeah, there's 3 doors on that whole side. The first 2 are that large blue room, and then
Right.
the third door is the one that has the caution sign on it that was closed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. So you saw shadows, you heard sounds. Did you hear any whistling or anything like that?
There was a lot of talking. We have one of the EVPs is actually yelling when we were in Smitty's cell. Right outside the cell door, there's somebody yelling. Right after he had asked if Smitty was there with us, all you hear is a yell. And then on the digital recorder, you also there's like a lot of talking. Like it's not enough to be able to like splice it and call it an EVP, but you can hear like there's a bunch of talking within that old section while we were sitting in the cell.
Yeah, see, that's what I get on my EVPs. You can hear a lot of, sometimes it just sounds like one person talking, but sometimes it sounds like a couple, but it's like so incoherent. You know there's somebody talking on it, but you just can't enhance it or anything enough to hear what exactly they're saying. Kiwi again wants to know, were you alone in the building?
It was just us 2.
Yep.
Do you have any EVPs or anything that you think you can share with us tonight, or do you?
Yeah,
go ahead and do that then.
I'll do the dungeon one first.
How do I just make them bigger on the thing?
I'm not sure.
Is it this? Nope. I don't know how to do it. Mute buttons.
Well, they're bigger there.
Just let me know when you're ready.
She's okay. Solo layout is, I think she's, there you go.
There you go.
She wanted to make you just, okay, go ahead.
Did you hear the moaning there?
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's very loud.
And that's
like
actually when I started coughing.
Yeah,
right after that.
It's very distinct, and this also came across on our camera. So at this point, we had just finished setting up the camera on the tripod, and we were just walking around it. He was in front, and I was right behind him. And just as I made it around the camera, is when that moaning occurred.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
He picked it up, or the digital recorder and the camera, but we never heard a thing.
Yeah. See, that's how mine was when I did my EVP, that I kind of got knocked for not sharing it because we just did it. We didn't do it when we were investigating. We did it just on our personal, so we keep it for our files. But we heard you can hear like screaming from the dungeon, which we think it came from the dungeon, and you could hear it almost sounded like a guy, almost like a groan, moan, and like laughing, like thought it was funny or something. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I see that there's a comment there about putting it on an editing program to make it clearer. The sounds you hear in the beginning are footsteps. It's the crack, like the rocks on the dungeon floor. So it's not static or anything. That's our clear walking on the ground. And then I have the one of we were in Smitty's cell, the yelling. If you want to hear that one too.
Yeah, sure.
Area of Smitty's cell. Smitty, are you here with us right now?
Whoa.
Yeah, see, that's what I caught on my EVP. I caught some of the like yelling like that, and then I caught like some at one point like women. It sounded like women screaming. So yeah, I caught that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And being where that is, pretty much dead center of the jail, there's no way it could have been anything else. Like there's nothing else around because you're pretty much dead center of the jail there.
Right. Yeah.
The other one I have is the talking, but I don't know if you'd be able to hear it because it's so faint.
Yeah, I got a couple that's like that. Go ahead.
Is that you down there talking?
You can hear something real faint, like you said. It's very, 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 very light in the background. But if you can get it enhanced somehow, yeah. And that's the same stuff that I catch, like some stuff like that. But you have to. It's when you have your headphones on and you're listening to it, you can hear it better than when you project it on a format like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But, I don't know how you share the picture.
Yeah, I also have the picture if there was a way to share screen. If you
yeah.
I can share screen on here. Let me figure out how to do it. It's been a while.
I believe if you hit I have an option to present.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Try doing that and see what happens.
Yeah, down here. Remind me to upload that editing program on my computer too, so I can try to enhance and focus on some of those EVPs that we did catch.
I have video file, extra camera, slide, share screen. But that's on my side, so.
Yeah, I can do it. Give me 1 second here. I was pulling them up before I shared screen.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to put them on maybe again too? Oh, there it is.
I'm trying to see if I can get it. It's very faint on our screen. I don't know.
Let's see if I can.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, it's kind of, you have to almost circle on
It's
there.
like right here.
Now this is the dark one, so they did enhance it, and when they enhanced it, you can see exactly what we're looking at, right? Yep. Right there was it enhanced. That is what they caught that night. And to me, it looks like, and several other people, looks like it's a guard that's just like staring up. And there's nothing that could have projected that because you can see shoulders, you can see head, you can see neck, you can see the chest, you can see the
its
legs.
torso right
Yeah,
here.
that's its torso, the arms. You can see part of the two legs going down the head.
Yeah, you could almost see like there's some kind of like sash or something going down from his shoulder on this side.
Yeah, I never even noticed that before. You're right. Yeah, I mean, and look how broad the shoulders are in that too, and whoever that is seems to be pretty tall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another thing we were looking at, like the height of it too, compared to like if you were standing down there, how tall
Right.
it would be.
Because it would be almost the height of a door,
Yeah.
or a little bit more than a door.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's tall. I mean, if you look at where the head is compared to the level right there,
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty tall.
Well, it's like, let's imagine his feet's right here. Well, if that's his feet, then he's pretty tall.
Yeah. And I do think it looks like it's looking up, like it's a guard looking up, checking out.
Can you zoom in just a little bit more?
Yeah.
Look, you can even see his face.
Yeah.
You can see the nose and the eyes.
Yeah, you can start to see a face there,
That's
can't
crazy.
you? I never noticed that before.
I don't think we ever been that close either.
Yeah, we've been staring at it on our phones. This is the first time we actually have like blown it up because I'm on a laptop right now.
See, the dark part on the top, that's where that lady thinks that it looks like a woman's hair on the top, but that could have been like a cap or something, the cap or something that they wore.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. That is amazing evidence.
I don't know. Sometimes, some ways I look at it, look like it could be a woman but why would there be a woman? That has to be a guard.
Why would a woman be down there?
Yeah, I don't know, unless it was somebody.
Unless it was a secretary or something, but I mean, that's still weird. But yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
The first vibe we got was it's a guard when we first seen it.
That's what we said too.
After lockdown, wasn't it?
If I look at the picture, I want to say this was right around 2 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, if I pull it up and look at the data on it here.
He's in the center of the passageway like a guard. Yep, exactly.
At 2:05 a.m.
Who put that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is insane, and it can't be a camera glare or anything because I mean, come on, you can see a head, you can see a neck, you can see shoulders, you can see arms, a chest.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good catch.
Yeah, and like I said, I took them in series of 3 pictures. That is the first picture. The next 2, it's not there at all.
Wow.
So it just appeared to look at you guys real quick and then went away.
See, that's what makes it. Go ahead.
So we were coming across the catwalk and I took the pictures real quick. So we weren't even over there very long before I snapped those pictures. It was right when we came across the catwalk.
Wow. And the good thing that you guys did is, like you said, you took pictures, like you took it and a couple pictures after. That's what we do. We take about 5 pictures all total. So that way, if something shows up, you can have, okay, look, nothing else shows, but that one shows something. Mm-hmm. So that's probably, I was shocked when you sent that to me and I saw that. I'm there. You're freaking kidding me. That is just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Does anyone have any questions for them while we're here?
Yeah, ask a lot of questions. These people are amazing, and I really can't wait to have them back, and they can bring that group with them. We can maybe even plan that luncheon thing where we can compare nice people. Another group that we're real pleased to have on our show. Because I know you have to get up early in the morning for work, so we'll probably be. You have to get up like what? How early do you get up? Like
I get up at 3.
Yeah, so you're gonna be going on your bedtime here pretty soon. So But so if anybody, please ask right now so we can end this
Lights are
here
flickering.
shortly. I mean, if it wasn't for her having to go to work, I could talk to them for probably another hour. But we have. So, is there anything? Unless anybody asks, is there anything that comes to mind in particular that you'd like to tell the viewing audience? That you just like to share? Anything about the jail, anything about your upcoming stuff, just whatever you want to say. The show's yours.
I would say definitely try and visit the jail.
It's an experience.
Yeah, it's something that, I mean, at the very least, take a tour just to see what it's like. I mean, for me, again, it was a bucket list place since, I grew up in Evansburg. I used to play in the park right beside it all the time. So for me, it was that building that I've always known. I actually work in Evansburg, so I pass the jail every morning on the way to work and then on the way home. So it's always there. Something that we do want to mention is we do have our Para-United Paracon. It's now going to be an annual thing that Dark Hollow Paranormal puts on at the Liberty Theater in Nanny Glow. We just had it in September 7th, but we already have the date book for August 23rd, 2025. And I believe we're accepting vendor applications as of today. So it's definitely something to check out. We have people from all over the United States that came to the first one.
Yeah, we want to try to set one up for the jail too. But with it just opening up and that, we're trying to get around that there so that we can try to plan one. So if any of you want to kind of give any advice or any help or anything towards helping us get one set up, we would appreciate any help like that. B Squared asks, do you have a YouTube channel?
We personally don't. Dark Hollow does have one. And we all have individual TikToks. I mean, we have TikToks. You can
of evidence from
the
Liberty Theater.
Can one of the mods look up Dark Hollow and some of those things on TikTok and that, if possible, and share, please?
Yeah, there's a Dark Hollow TikTok, as well as two of our members, Brian with a Y. If you're trying to look it up, it's BRY. And his wife Michaela are very active on TikTok. They're both constantly posting stuff.
Very, very good. Very, very good. So let me see. I'm trying to see if we missed any questions or anything.
I don't think so.
I know Kiwi said thank you for coming to talk to us. So I know you have a early morning. Is there anything before we let you go in that you want to tell everybody? You did say about the Paracon, the Para-Unity thing coming up. I'm hoping, if not the whole team, but at least a couple of us can make that next year, because we weren't able to with everything going on this year. But is there anything else you want to shout out or tell anybody before we end it for you?
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I could think of is, if you're local to the area or you're looking for places to go, another place is we have the Liberty Theater in Nanny Glow. You can be on the lookout on the Dark Hollow page for our public events as well. So you can have a chance for that. And then you can also book a private investigation as well.
Sounds good. I know we have to hit that place up sometime. Matter of fact, right before we started the tours over at the jail, I was actually looking into that place. So that is definitely some area that we want to hit. So hopefully we can, there goes my clock. So hopefully we can set up some kind of arrangements to go over there too and catch you guys over there. But B Squared, it's very interesting, and thank you so much for sharing your experiences. Absolutely. So where's your next place now that you're set up before we go? Where's your next place that you're going to try to hit?
We have Liberty booked for October 12th, and then Gettysburg in November, Paracon at Pennhurst in May, and then the Paracon, I think, is the only thing on our calendar right now.
I know
Okay,
we were
cool.
talking about trying to hit other bigger
Yeah.
Paracons this year, though.
See, you're like us. We want to hit them so much, but it was just with getting into this, setting this all up and that. We haven't even had an investigation outside of the jail here in months. So we're just trying to get where we can break away, where we can actually get a couple of our own investigations in. So who knows, maybe Liberty or something could be one of them coming up if we can arrange it. But Ashley and Michael, you guys are awesome. I am so excited to see what you did catch over there, and that the stuff that you showed is just been amazing. And drop by anytime if you said you live right over there. Drop by, say hi. I'll take time out to talk with you, and that you guys are just real sweet people. I like you a lot.
Well, thank you very much.
And so before they go, does anybody else want to? Okay, you know what? Rawside Paranormal. We're going to get some info off of you and that. They said that they can feature you in their, she said right here, please share their info so I can add it to my magazine for November. So we will get in, we have to contact the Rawside anyhow, so we will make sure she gets info on you. Would you mind then if that picture that you showed or anything like that, if she had added that to her magazine?
No, I wouldn't care at all, as long as the photo's credited.
Yeah, well, that's why even as you see, your name was right on there when he posted it. So yeah, we would never make sure, that's your stuff. So, but, so we're going to go, let you go since you have a long day ahead of you and a short night here. But I cannot thank you guys enough for coming on. We will share info that we know with Rawside. And thank you so much for accepting our invite to be on and being such sweet people.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, we're going to say good night here. You go, you get some sleep, and hopefully we'll catch you here sometime soon again.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye.
Bye, everyone.